All right, hey everyone, Patrick here from Prime Ag. I want to do a quick educational video on using put options. So let's get in here. It's something we like, especially this year, but they can be used anytime. Puts are a fixed risk position. Your cost is just the premium that you pay. So you'll know that up front. It gives you a minimum price. So you have a futures price floor for your grain. And then it also allows you to retain control of your bushels. When you do this position, it is on the board, so you're not committing your grain to any elevators or to a fixed current price. Question we kind of ask ourselves here right now, and really anytime you want to get a put in place is do you know where price is going to go? Frankly, there's arguments for beans in this example. This is a weekly November bean chart. There's arguments to see $17 beans over this coming year. And there's certainly an argument for $9 beans. So there's a lot of volatility. I mean, that's a $3, $4 swing, really in either direction. And I think you have to factor in, weather, exports, things of that nature, all of which we don't know until, of course, after they happen. So buying a $12 Nov put for 40 cents, this is something that we like right now and what we're going to use for this example. So this blue line illustrates where this put is at, 12 bucks. Here's your current futures price, somewhere around 12.60. So like I said, it's a fixed risk position, so we should calculate out what our minimum price floor is going to be. So you take your $12 futures put, you spent 40 cents on that, you're going to end up with an 11.60 futures minimum per 5,000 bushels. Keep in mind, no bushels are sold. So this basically works as a deferred decision. Instead of selling bushels today, you're opting to give yourself or give these markets more time and make a decision at a later date. So again, the blue line is your $12 put. Your orange line here is at around 11.60. That's what your net price is going to be, and what we would call on a worst case scenario, meaning the prices from here break significantly lower. So again, going back now to the fact that you don't have any bushels sold, if you put one of these on, you get to participate in a market rally. So if prices from here decide to accelerate higher and we do end up at 17 bucks, you're going to have that $17 futures opportunity, and you're going to have spent 40 cents on this put. It's going to expire worthless. You're going to net out at 16.60 futures. I think that's a pretty good place to be. On the other hand, if price breaks down significantly, that price floor is going to kick in. So let's say we're sitting down at $9. You're going to have an 11.60 futures guarantee. You're going to be pretty glad you have these on, and you should be sitting, I would hope, fairly profitable for the year as far as beans go. So this is an important thing to remember here. By putting these puts in place, you're not making a sales decision today. You're deferring it to a later date in which you can participate in a rally, and you'll have a minimum floor if there's a major break in price. Also keep in mind, you do not need to hold these all the way to expiration either. As the market climbs, if you find a price that you're comfortable with or fundamentals change or something of that nature, you can make a decision to sell and then close out that put. You'll probably still have some premium in there, so you won't take a full 40-cent loss or 40-cent deduction off of that sales price. So just some quick final thoughts here going into this year. I think we can all agree that volatility will be high, whether it's comes down to weather premium with the tight ending stocks. We could see, there's always a potential that exports could fall off if we have trade tensions or things of that nature again. So there's a lot of uncertainty out there. A lot of guys are bullish. There's a lot of guys that are bearish. I don't know that either one is right at this time. And that's why, again, we like using these puts. The biggest thing that we can't emphasize enough is it does keep you control of your bushels. If you're a bullish guy and you don't want to sell now, get these puts in place. You get to hold your bushels together. If prices go higher, if you're a guy that's worried about drought and not having bushels, not growing enough bushels, get these puts in place so that if you do have these bushels growing, you can, and prices break, you can make some sales, or you have a good price locked in. Again, you can price your physical anytime before expiration. You don't have to hold these all the way through the end of October. If you're bullish and you're wrong, you have a minimum price. What do I mean by that? Well, it goes back to keeping control of your bushels. If you sit here today and think that bushels and beans are going to 17 bucks, that's great. I can see that scenario happening. If they don't, and let's say things break, the worst case scenario is you have that 1160 price floor in place. And I think that's a pretty good number for your operation. If you're bearish and you're wrong, you have upward potential. Maybe you think these prices are pretty hot and pretty high, but you also don't want to be the guy that sold too soon or too early. So you get these puts in place. You have that 1160 price floor that you can live with. And if the market goes higher to 17 bucks, you're on board. Again, you're gonna spend that first 40 cents and net out at 1660. But I think we would all agree that deferring the decision, if we go to 17 and we defer the decision, 1660 is much better than 1260 today. But ultimately, it's going to come down to what gives you peace of mind. You know, are you going to go through this year in the volatility swings? You know, if the market's up one day, you're glad you didn't sell. If the market's down one day, you're wishing you would have. These puts are going to give you a little bit more of an even temperament as we go through the year, knowing that you have a safety valve, if you will, in place at that 1160 price. I need to mention too that these work out for corn. They can work for wheat. They'll work for livestock. Basically, any commodity or sale that you aren't really ready to make a decision on right now, or if you're concerned about whether or not you'll have the bushels, these put options give you a lot of flexibility and a lot of control that way. And I think that they're a good idea in a year where there's going to be a lot of volatility. So hope you find this helpful. If you guys have questions, email me, admin@prime-ag.net. And please subscribe to our channel as well. It'll notify you when we post new videos. We appreciate you taking a look. Thank you.